Let's do one more piece of sound and then we'll take a few questions. I think this was really important. This is the credit giving and also critique section. This clip has been going around, and one thing you could say about Andrew Yang, and I've said both things, and you know, this is somebody who obviously has a very intense kind of cult following, so people get very triggered. There have been certain times where Andrew Yang has absolutely not, you know, he has not spoken skillfully or accurately, in my view, on the racial dynamics of parts of the Republican base. 100%. I think he failed extravagantly in his interview with Mehdi Hassan, as an example. And then I think, on the other hand, it is actually disturbing that in many respects, besides Bernie Sanders, who's running a for real, solid democratic socialist campaign with amazing mass policies and a specific strategy around racial justice as well, that almost no other Democrats, and certainly the punditocracy and elite, have written off large swaths of the country. And as I've said, they've replicated. They're doing, you know, I think Andy McCarthy from Grubstakers called it woke Charles Murray discourse. That nailed it. I mean, that is it. So you have a guy with a policy set, and again, save your, you know, trigger warning, Yang people, is not going to work. At least it's not going to work if your interest is in empowering labor in this country and true structural reform. It's not going to work, period. UBI is an addendum and an add-on. It's not a fundamental structural program. However, here is one guy who is consistently telling people across the country, including in the hollowed out industrial Midwest, I hear you. There's major problems. And by the way, he's 100% right about decriminalizing opioids. That was a brave and correct stand. And I want you to have homes. I want you to have money. I want you to have a purpose and a direction in life. I, again, will say his policy set will not achieve that, but the message is 100% correct. And it's actually insane that he's one of the only people doing it. It's a damning indictment of the coastal media and the Democratic Party elite. And evidence some of the results here. And again, I just want to remind everybody, Andrew Yang is a person of color. Look at this with a Trump voter that's flipped. Now, he should be flipping to Bernie, but watch this.
Yes, was. Now I'm a Yangocrat. But only for Andrew Yang. I'm only here on the Democratic side to vote for Andrew Yang because I would not give you 2 cents for an establishment Democrat, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. But Andrew Yang makes so much sense. When Andrew Yang talks, you actually hear the solutions to the problems that got Donald Trump elected. You know, we all wanted Donald Trump to go in and we all wanted him to drain the swamp. We wanted him to be that larger-than-life outsider, WWE superstar. You know he was on WWE at one point in time, doing little bits with Vince McMahon. We all wanted him to be that guy, the outsider. But he's actually just the insider, you know? And the country's only gotten more and more divided. And then when you hear somebody talk like Andrew Yang and he says, you know what, guys, it's not immigration, it's automation. And you think, holy cow, you know what? At McDonald's, guess what? I don't even have to talk to anybody. They bring me my food to the table. I don't have to talk to anybody. You go into Walmart, one person is manning 20 registers because they're all self-checkout. It's automation that's taking away our jobs here in America. That's why Donald Trump won the Rust Belt. He went in like gangbusters and he was like, hey, we're gonna bring all the jobs back. Guess what, y'all? We can't bring the jobs back because the robots have taken them. There's no bringing them back. So what we got to do is we got to get ahead of the curve. And Andrew Yang is the only one that's talking about it.
So what would it do for you? What would you do with $1,000 a month? How would it change your life?
You know, I think about that and you know, we pay bills just like we do now, you know, but I would actually be able to go get my oil changed instead of letting my car go 5,000 or 6,000 miles past the date where I was supposed to have my oil changed. I'd be able to actually go get a haircut instead of not being able to afford one. You know, it's the little things like that. All that $1,000 a month will go right back into the community. Man, we might buy some more crap off of Amazon. You know, he's gonna get his cut. But the fact is, it's gonna go to car repairs. It's gonna go to pay for daycare. It's gonna go to pay for food, the occasional night out.
That's all people want. I mean, look, what Bernie's offering is a radically better answer to this, without a doubt, including a federal jobs guarantee. But centering people's material needs is a positive thing and does go to undermining and exposing the fraudulence of Donald Trump. And to the extent Andrew Yang is doing that, props. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.